Hi, Rich Tehrani here in the TMC newsroom at Interop 2009 in Las Vegas. I'm here today with Ben Grimes from Avocent. How are you?
Good, Rich. How are you?
Fantastic. It's been a while since I was in your office in scenic Huntsville, Alabama, the rocket scientist capital of the U.S.
Of the U.S., that's right.
If not, maybe the world. I'm not sure.
That's right.
So I had a good time down there.
Good.
And I really enjoyed my tour of your facility, and I figured it would be a good opportunity for us to talk some more here at Interop about what your company's up to and what you're doing. Could you give us just an elevator pitch about your company?
Sure. At Avocent, we're trying to provide those technologies for folks to take data center infrastructure to the next level. Provide technologies that have immediate return on investment, that allow them to reduce their operational expense while maintaining their capital expenditures, controlling all of that complexity that's coming into the data centers today with all the new neat widgets that are coming in, having a management system and a back-end infrastructure to control all that in a more reasonable fashion.
Great. Now, I hear you have some new products, and I'm very interested in learning about those, if you could share.
Sure, Rich. Here at Interop, it's a great opportunity for us because we just announced our product, the Avocent MergePoint Infrastructure Explorer. And what that is a software tool that data center people can use to plan for new data center expansion or even brand new data center build out, or to just control their existing environment. It's a tool that will allow them to model visually their data center, literally bring a floor plan of their data center together, lay out all the racks, all the equipment in the racks, and get a visual view of that, and then do some planning and modeling around where do I have enough power, where do I have enough HVAC, what's my thermal condition look like with all of this equipment. Do I have racks that weigh too much for my floor space if I have raised floor tiles?
Wow.
So tools that will allow you to plan new expansion. If I'm going to bring in new equipment, I can model that in the data center, figure out where's the most optimal place for me to place that, figure that out, and then actually go and put that stuff in the environment.
So how will that software deal with HVAC and heating? What are the parameters that are built in?
So on every piece of new IT equipment that comes out, there's a faceplate that talks about how much power it consumes, the type of thermal conditions that it needs to be involved with. We'll take that faceplate information because we have all the models for practically every piece of IT equipment out there, and model that information and visually show that as a representation, because if you put in parameters that a rack can support so much power consumption and you start populating the rack, we can take that faceplate information, calculate and say, have I overstepped that boundaries? But what's interesting from an Avocent perspective, the fact that we have all this equipment that knows how to talk in the environment with our intelligent PDUs, the fact that we have embedded technologies and servers, not only can we look at faceplate information, we can get real-time information and bring that into the environment. So we're demoing here some real-time instrumentation work with this product as well, and that's where we really differentiate against our competition in this space, because they're doing it on back of the napkin sort of models on what could happen.
Right.
But with our stuff, we're bringing real information to the table that they can plan based on the realities of what's going on in the environment.
Great. Now, I know that there's a huge push nowadays for companies to be more aware of the environment, and they want to be greener, and I'm wondering if you can help explain how your products fit in that goal.
Absolutely. If you're a company that's looking to be greener, how do you know you are greener? What's your baseline that you're starting with? So having the ability to instrument your environment and understand what your environment's doing today allows you to set that baseline and then allow you to say, okay, what can I do to get better, implement that, and then go back and test it again and say, okay, now what's my new baseline, and figure out how I've improved. That instrumentation is where Avocent plays. The fact that we have intelligent PDUs with software that's layered on top of it that can do the analytics on that instrumentation, the trend reports, how it's going, what type of expense you're spending on power, allows you to set that baselining. So you can't claim that you're greener without knowing where you started from and then where you're at after you made the decisions.
Sure. And there's also a cost reduction play, right? Your products have a very high ROI based upon the manpower that they save in equipment management.
Absolutely.
Right?
If you look at some of the stuff we do from our LAN desk division, we're doing things like on a desktop, where we can set power policies to do things like turn equipment off at night when it's not being used, but restart them before the people show up in the morning so they don't have that performance downtime. And we've done some studies with Brevard County Schools where they're actually saving literally hundreds of thousands of dollars in power savings over the year by putting those power policies in play that we can control, ensure that they're implemented, and then give real reports on what's happening in the environment so they can physically see that ROI that they're getting.
That's great. So what are some of the things that we can expect in the future from your company?
It's continuing to build out and expand on the fact of around the metering and monitoring capabilities. If you look at a lot of the folks here at the show, they talk about managing an environment from the virtual side up, but they kind of forget the bottom end infrastructure. And we're creating a set of tools built on a common platform that'll help manage that infrastructure, understand the higher level pieces like virtualization, but build those associations between and give the IT administrator a broader view from a single suite of offerings as to how my infrastructure is working.
That's fantastic. Well, Ben, thank you so much for being on the program
today. Great. Thanks, Rich. I really appreciate it.
Keep up the good work.
Great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.